Okay, we are cracking on. This is project number 1, the Moorhouses van. Love it. I think it's going to look fantastic when it's done. I won't bother, filming how to drill the rivets out. There's more than enough YouTubers out there showing you how to do that. So I'll just show you the detail stuff and try and just cut out the duplication so you don't have to watch the same kind of stuff again and again. Because I know you all watch multiple different YouTubers that do this thing, because there's heaps of them out there. So who needs to see that? So first I'll drill the base plate out, and there's a couple there to drill out. Strip it and crack on. And as I mentioned in my other videos, I'm operating out of a 1-bedroom apartment away from home, so I've had to bring all of this stuff with me. All of my spare parts and decals, tools that I think I'll need, paints and more paints coming, and the list of projects on the conveyor belt is huge. I'll just give you a quick rundown. B17 made by my dad, and then given to me as a birthday present, and I treated it like a typical boy. The Privateer, this is very special. This will be a video all of its own. Dad made this from a Liberator kit back in the 60s when you could not buy a Privateer model. Matchbox released one years later, but back then when Dad made this, you could not buy a Privateer kit. You had to scratch build it from a Liberator. And for those of you that know your aircraft, you'll know the differences between a Privateer and a Liberator. They are numerous. But he gave that to me as a present, and as you can see, I treated it accordingly. Numerous other projects. There's a Dinkum, I think it's Dinkum Classics XB coupe in there, and I'm sure many that you'll recognise. So let's crack on with the Moorhouses Jams and Lemon Cheese van. Okay, just before I crack on though, I will just show you, there's the original rivet there, and the other one there. And my intention is to use as much of Dad's spare parts as I can, as a bit of a tribute to him. So there's the replacement rivet heads, and they're, other than the colouring, they are perfect. They are perfect, and they're just a little rivet, a little white metal rivet. So I'll obviously, when I drill out these rivets, I'll drill the hole to the diameter of that, and then use a larger drill to remove the head of the rivet so that it's pre-drilled, because it provides a nice center hole, as you can see. And yeah, use Dad's parts. Okay, it's apart. Relatively straightforward. So here's the breakdown. Obviously here's the chassis and cab. The clear part, yeah, it was a bit stubborn. Caked on with a lot of crap, as you can see. Bit of WD-40 and some gentle massaging. Got it out. Did not drill through the roof. The base plates. So these are interesting on this particular model. This is blued steel, same as they do with firearms. So it's not painted. So I will strip that, because it's got some small rusty spots. Strip that back and re-blue it. It won't be painted. Also, I won't need to remove the axle or the rims. I'll just polish them in place, which is great because there is absolutely no play, no room to grab the end of the axle to grind it down or squash it flat or anything like that. So they are not coming out, which is good. I can blue that and polish those wheels and it will look brand new. The van body, had quite a bit of luck here with this one because the Vallejo paint, RLM 23 is, believe it or not, a near perfect match. And there's actually smeared inside there. It is spot on, so I won't need to play with the red, it'll just be that colour. The yellow is obviously not going to be cream enough, and I'll just do that by eye with a bit of white, add a bit of white to that. If I can save a small fragment during the stripping process, yep, then I'll do that. Again, captive axles, not going to come out. No play. I'm pushing at the other end and there's none. There's nothing to grab. You could conceivably drill them out, but you're almost certainly going to damage the rim. But there's enough room between rim and chassis rail to take them off. Just mask them. Polish the rims and they'll look $1 million. So I'm going to be the same with that. I'll just polish. Okay, so apologies for the light. There isn't a really good lamp over this side. So as you can see, the van body is in the just boiled water in a Pyrex jug, because that would just be the common sense thing to do. And I've got an aluminium rod in there, tube, just to see what the effects are of caustic soda on aluminium, because the rims on the chassis, because they're fixed to the chassis, they're spun alloy. I'm not sure what the caustic soda will do to them, so I'd rather lose this tube than the rims on the chassis. So I'll load this bad boy up. And give it a stir with whatever I can find that's handy. We'll let that sit and see what happens. Nice bit of smoke coming out of the tube. I'll get back to you. Okay, been in there for a minute, thereabouts. And as you can see, there's not a stitch of paint on it. So I would say she's a winner. Both sides, inside, back. You can only trim the roof. Oh, I can also confirm that the caustic soda has no impact whatsoever on plastic salad spoons. So yeah, a little bit of paint there, I think, is it? It might just be bubbles. Anyway, I'll get the wire brush onto that. I'll just pop him there, because what I really want to know is this. That's the alloy tube. It's smooth as a baby's bottom, does nothing. So there you go. no residue, so it hasn't weakened it in any way. It's aluminium is impervious to caustic soda. So let's crack on. Chassis goes in. Okay, and underneath the decals, once I took them off, the paint survived, so we'll pop her back in. And oh well, fortune favours the brave. Throw her in, use the old mix, and just see if we can't get a good result without using so much caustic soda. Maybe 2.5. Give it a stir. Anyway, back soon. Okay, end results, very good. Just takes too long, but pretty happy with the results. Looks to be some knocks on that grille surround, the rectangular portion there. And we'll get a better camera set up eventually. Just have to have a look at these bits here. Make sure they're smooth. They don't look dinged, but by and large, I did have to use more water and more caustic soda. Full disclosure, it did need another batch of hot water. And as you can see, the alloy and the spun alloy, it does look, if you look at it, you probably can see it better than I can. I don't think it's as shiny as what it was when it went in, so, but I'll buff that up. Yeah, it's sort of made it a bit of a satin finish, hasn't it? So yeah, there you go, that's what a caustic soda does. Well, but I've got some metal polish here, and it'll bring that up just beautiful. And the van body, there was decal residue underneath the decals, strangely enough, and underneath that, of course, the paint, and that was quite stubborn, so I had to give that another going over, and then some work with the wire brush. But yeah, she's a ripper. In really good nick, this one, like no significant dents or dings, or even the guards. I don't even think I need to straighten mud guards out. And that's my pet hate with a lot of these people that restore these things, is they miss these bent mud guards or minor bends in some of the pillars. But this one's in really good nick, so it won't be too hard. Of course, one of the many things I did not bring with me was my Dremel. So I'll have a look at how to, if I have to remove this gun blue, or if I can just polish it with the wire brush and then re-blue it. I've re-blued things in the past, like SLR, 303 bayonets, and it's cold bluing. Actual firearms are hot blued, which is longer lasting and more durable. Cold bluing, well, it looks the same. It looks like this. So I've no doubt that I can replicate that. I'll have to go down to the gun shop and get some blue, because of course that's another thing that's at home. So that's next, and then polish the clear, and we're another several steps closer. Okay, wheels are polished, and body's pretty well ready for paint. That's what I used to polish the wheels, auto sol metal polish, and you only need the most microscopic amount on your wheel and on your little tool. A little bit of wet and dry just to take some of the pitting out of the wheels. So yeah, we're ready for the undercoat now. Okay, she's primed, but I always find it advisable just to give it a light coat of primer when you're first priming it, because primer is really good for exposing the various flaws. So just there on the corner of the grille surround, like a little scratch there, have to fill that, and you can see just how wonderful the primer is at highlighting its various flaws. And it's had a bit of a whack smack bang in the top center of, I'm assuming it's probably an engine access panel. That's a tough nut to crack, that one. But I've run a piece of brass rod around to try and flatten some of those dings and scratches. And there's only so much you can do before it just gets ridiculous. But anyway, I'll get a bit of filler on that corner there. There was some unevenness in the casting there that the primer highlighted, so that was really good. But other than that, it's all pretty straightforward. And there was a significant casting flaw in the body, just above my thumb there, and I just sanded it and filed it with the little microfiles, so much so now that I can scarcely see where it was. And I've re-blued the base plate, polished it, and just you use, this is the stuff, Birchwood KC Perma Blue. It comes in a 3, or you can buy this individually. You can get a set. It has a bottle of cleaner degreaser and another bottle of blue and rust remover, which I didn't bother using this time. I just polished this plate, and then just re-blued. And the rust spots are gone, and yeah, give it a few coats and it'll come up wonderful. So yeah, we're getting there. Just a few little odds and ends to clean up after priming it, and it'll be colour time. Okay, they are painted in the makeshift cardboard box spray booth until I get an actual spray booth, which is not far away. And I'm pretty happy with the cheesecake yellow of the body. There was some small fragments remaining on the inside, that made it a little bit easier for me to guesstimate the colour. But keeping in mind that it had already been affected by the stripping process, but it was still pretty close, and the red is bang on. So yeah, assembly. Just give it another 24 hours to get nice and dry and hard, then we'll whack it back together. Well, there it is, finished. Came out pretty good. Yeah, not much more really to say. It was not that difficult a resto because the body didn't need any work. Just some minor little sanding of casting flaws and the like. But yeah, so re-blued that little tin base plate, and you can probably catch underneath there that little black portion up the front. She's beautiful and brand new, and used Dad's old little cast rivets, which did a great job. So there she is in all of her finery. I'm very happy with it. This is, believe it or not, the first model I've ever used a spray gun on. So a bit of a watershed moment, and steep learning curve, and I've learnt a lot. So onwards and upwards from here, but yeah, there it is. She's all done. Polished. Sorry, dipped the clear part in your typical furniture polish that everyone uses, and yeah, had no real dramas with it, with the whole resto. The tyres came from Dad's collection of many tyres, and they're a good fit. I don't even know if they're the correct ones for it, but they look good. So yeah, there it is, and she's done. And on to the next one. If you've got a particular preference that you'd like me to do next of the ones that you've seen, let me know. I'm sort of steering towards the tanker, but the tanker's an easy resto because it's got nothing wrong with it other than the paint. The Rover sedan with the broken A-pillar, that's more of a challenge, or the Land Rover with the broken front bumper. I'm not sure. I'm going to get them all done, but I'm really not sure. So yeah, if you've got a particular preference you'd like me to do, comment away, subscribe. I'll try and make my videos actually shorter, because you know, you don't need to see a lot of this stuff because everyone's doing it. You know how to take a base plate off, you know how to strip paint, you even know how to paint the damn things. Really need to focus more on the kind of stuff that you don't see all the time. I like fixing A-pillars, straightening out bent parts, fabricating parts that are missing. So that's what I'll try and focus more on. But anyway, there it is. The Moorhouses van is finished. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment away. I've got a thick skin. Go for it. Cheers. Just a quick postscript. So that's what I used for the chrome paint. Chrome Bright liquid chrome. Obviously just sprayed into a bit of a cap and then hand painted. One thing I realised is that my eyesight's definitely not as good as it used to be, because that was very hard. I need better glasses, and that's what I dip the clear parts in. You can get that from the Big Green Shed, and until they sponsor me, I'm not going to mention their name. I think I got that from one of the auto parts stores, maybe the one that is quite super and cheap. So yeah, that's it, and that's really good stuff. It's quite bright as far as chrome goes, and that was about $6, $5 or $6, and that is a lifetime supply. Okay, enjoy your restorations, guys. See ya.